And what I specialise in really is conservation of the native honeybee, because it's well adapted to Britain, of course, but also many people have brought in foreign strains, particularly Mediterranean strains, which don't survive very well in this part of the world. They can't easily breed and they have to be brought in repeatedly, and they have rather destroyed the gene pool in the among British bees, so we're trying to reverse that to some extent.
And since when you started saving the bees in the beginning, has there been an increase in bee colonies, or are things a little better now today compared to like
I think
a decade back?
I think they are. We are succeeding very slowly,
right.
But there's a big backlog of ignorance among all sorts of people, including beekeepers,
right.
where they don't understand the necessity to have bees that are naturally adapted to their area. So it isn't easy. Well, it's tough work for bees, and the beekeepers tend to go for something exotic and exciting when they start beekeeping. Then they find it doesn't work very well, and eventually they come around to thinking like I do, but it does take some time, by which time their drones have mated with my queens, and things have moved backwards again. So we are slowly winning, I think, but it's taking a long time. Where ordinary people can be valuable in preserving and conserving native bees, and all bees for that matter, is in the plants they grow in the gardens. And there are some plants which bees benefit a lot from, others where they really have very little benefit. And one, for example, which you'll be familiar with, is cherry trees with a lot of petals, double flowered cherry trees. They don't produce nectar and pollen in the way that wild cherry trees do, but they're more decorative. And this applies to quite a lot of the plants which gardeners like, is that they look beautiful, but they're not necessarily very beneficial to the bees. And the other thing is to avoid using poisonous sprays, and that's something which we
destroy crops and bee colonies.
That's right, and something which we're finding now is that the garden centres where you can buy plants to put in your garden, those plants are produced with the use of poisons which prevent fungus and other things growing, other pests growing among the seeds, and they enhance the chances of the plant growing, but then the poisons which have been introduced are present in the nectar and the pollen, and then when bees and other insects feed from those plants which you can buy in the garden centres, they can get poisoned from the stuff which was introduced at a very early stage. So there are lots of interactions, in fact, with the public and with bees. And what people are very surprised to learn is that about a third of our foods are produced only with the help of bees.
Is there something you can tell for the public, whoever sees this, like what can we do, like as students, like?
Well, I suppose it's a lot of it's to do with keeping an open mind and being prepared for new information. Like, for example, I've got a natural fear of spiders. I've got used to it now. They don't worry me now. But I don't really find it easy to preserve spiders, because they don't seem to have anything much good about them, shall we say. And I think many people find that about all sorts of insects, and spiders are not insects, of course, but about other insects. They know that they're dangerous. The bees can be dangerous. But I think if children, for example, are made familiar with bees early on and learn about the benefits of honey and get involved and interested, often it's to do with interest, I think. When people are interested, they will follow ideas through and be more sympathetic to other ideas they haven't come across. And I think probably educating children and helping them to not be afraid of bees and just keep an open mind about what they can do, I think that could be beneficial, which we could all do. And many of us grow up and have children, and our own children, we can influence them all the way have an open mind.
Right.